Wednesday night. Getting used to this thing. Middle of the week, gang. It's kind of, but I need my Fridays back. So, a little under the weather, and I'm here. I know it's flu season, so definitely I tell everybody to take care of that, especially this last weekend. It was ridiculous the weather and the Arctic cold and all that shit. So I got my ginger beer. I'm gonna get my throat cleared, and we're gonna be all right. So a lot to talk about. Little time to talk about it. We'll get too much as possibly can. So I want to first start off with these teenagers with that went and bothered these Indian gentlemen at the parade, the peace parade or whatever habit was. And I already knew like some stuff was gonna pop off because not only did you have that group, the teenagers with the MAGA hats, then you had the 5% of Muslims, and they always looking for shit. And then you had the Native Americans, and you ain't got nothing better to do with your time. I mean, this is basically a time of your life where you're, supposed to having fun and enjoying yourself as a kid, and getting ready for college and all this other crap. But no, you want to decide to, be a piece of crap, and I'm pretty sure somebody else put them up to it, and there's a lot more out there that we don't know. And like I said, I just think it was just honestly they shouldn't have been there in the first place. They should have been going home being at home playing Fortnite and eating Tide Pods like they usually do, or whatever have you. But it is like, what does it take somebody in their head to be like, hey Brad, what's up, Chad? What are you doing today? Oh, I don't know. I'm just gonna play Fortnite, and eat a Tide Pod or two, and then jerk off and cry myself to sleep. What about you? Well, Chad, these Indian guys are gonna be protesting peacefully and stuff, and we want to bother them. So I'm gonna get your MAGA hat ready. Well, why did you tell me that before, Chad? We'll go play Fortnite later and jerk off each other. But anyway, it was really a waste of skin and a waste these kids, and I don't seem to understand why you were there in the first place. What was your purpose? What was your actual reason other than to piss somebody off, which you did? And I commend the Native American gentlemen, because they've seen a lot worse in their lifetime than those gentlemen would ever be. And I take it, I say gentlemen, and I take that with a grain of salt, because they did not act like it that day. And they lucky they didn't get their ass beat. I mean, quite honestly, so like I said, the 5% Muslims were there, and I usually check them on 125th Street in Lenox, doing their thing. And they're annoying as well. I understand it's freedom of religion, freedom of press, but to be all in your face with it is a little bit much. Even I have to take a scale back. But my issue is you got those three ingredients there. You got the MAGA kids, you got the Indian gentleman, which obviously is the latter of all three. Then you have the 5%ers. Something's gonna pop off. It was just something that was really not going to be good. And it's unfortunate. And Trump commended them, of course he did, because he's head beta bitch boy, and the government's still shut down. But I did hear some progress. It's supposedly coming. This tit for tat with Pelosi, I'm over with that too. I'm like, what? People are out of work. People need to get paid. People need to get their checks. Cut the bullshit, both of y'all, and just get it done. Even if it's what I said is I told a friend of mine, I was like, what? They could get to this wall crap later. Personally, I've said it on the show 100 times. They don't need this fucking wall. I mean, there's other ways to protect and the security of the border and all that other crap. But, let's stop fucking around, get people paid, Get them, because people are working without any money. And me personally, I'm not coming. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are, who I work for. I said, people getting paid is a reason why they work, and it's the things that they have to do. They got to pay rent. They got to pay bills. They got car notes. They got all kind of shit. And for them to be working for free, that's slavery. Technically speaking. I mean, last time I checked, people that work for free were slaves. So kind of put two and two together. I mean, it's pretty much the context of it. I was like that, but it's just fucked up. Like, just get a deal done. The back and forth with the State of the Union he's supposed to do, but I mean, realistically, what state of it, we know what the state is. It's messed up, and it's not going anywhere because you want to have a temper tantrum over this goddamn wall. And I'm like, bro, like, you're supposed to be this leader, and you're supposed to do all this great stuff, and you're basically acting like a 17-year-old little girl, and you're like 75, and then Pelosi's no better, and doing tit for tat for him is not gonna get anywhere. Like, basically, I'm upset at both sides right now because, like I said, no one's getting paid. Everybody, and then like, you're going to work, and you no check is coming, and you don't know when you're gonna get paid. Then you got the tax returns that might be held up, and that's gonna piss off a whole bunch of people. So like seriously, like, cut the bullshit, both of y'all. Get to the table and work things out. I mean, I think it was another thing. I think I saw a video of a Republican senator gentleman, and he was upset as well. And he doesn't like Democrats either, but even he's like, just get it done. And and I'm trying to figure out why it went from, because they offered him the 1.3 billion for the wall, whatever have you. They offered him that originally, and it all of a sudden went up to 5 billion. Like, that's a hell of a jump. I'm like, who you owe? Like, the mafia? The Russian mafia? But anyway, who knows? I mean, like I said, it's just, it's sad. It really is pathetic that people hold people's livelihoods, people who in this government that we elect, that are supposed to look out for us in our best interests, are basically, having a pissing contest over the government and how money should be spent. And that really sucks. So hopefully they get it done soon, because enough's enough already. But anyway, speaking of people getting fucked over, oh my god, I know a lot of people that watch NFL and the playoffs, and whoa, it was a shitstorm on Sunday. Jesus Christ. You had the NFC Championship, which was the Saints going up against the Los Angeles Rams, which was a pretty good game. It was kind of one-sided, pretty much the first half. I mean, I watched the first half pretty much, and the second half, I saw the tails, and I'm actually glad I did, because I thought the Saints pretty much had it, but the Rams came in and tied it back up, and the refs pretty much blew the game for them with a blatant out a fucking pass interference and a helmet to helmet. Like, so many replays showed that it was blatant. Like, how do you miss that? Stevie Wonder saw that shit coming. Like, I don't understand, like, what was going on there. Like, this is too fishy to me. So anyway, the Rams end up winning, and then I'm like, okay, they can't do this obviously twice, right? I was wrong. Then you go to the AFC Championship, where you had the New England the Patriots, with Tom Brady, who kind of reminds me of like one of those 80s villains from like The Revenge of the Nerds, with like the sweater tied around his neck, and he's smiling, got that smug look on his. I can't stand that bastard. But anyway, he is very talented, but he can kiss my ass anyway. But anyway, moving along. So it's the Chiefs and the Patriots, and New England pretty much had the game for most of the part of all of it. And, you know, like they've done all year, the Chiefs have been resilient, and they've done a lot of good things with, their offense and their defense. And Pat Mahomes, their young quarterback, he's got a bright future. I see him, being to many AFC championship games in the future, if they keep that team intact. And eventually they will knock off New England. I truly believe that. And, they came back, they tied the game. And then there was another call. And I'm like, Vince McMahon and the WWE cannot come up with better scripted writing and bullshit more than the National Football League. That's just my personal opinion. Because it just seemed too obvious that they wanted these two teams to win, the Rams and the Patriots. Don't know why, don't know how, but that's just how it is. So, and, I felt bad, because, I'm not a Saint fan, but I did like Drew Brees, and I was looking forward to him and Tom Brady, gunslinging it. It's going to be probably a shootout, with two number one teams. Well, I think the Patriots were number two. So it's going to be two number two seeds in the Super Bowl. And my pick will be the refs, because they're undefeated and they never lose, like me, Aaron Smith. So moving along, I had read something in the news, and where there is a rumor, or obviously there's possibly true that it's coming out, that the son of Ivan Reitman, who wrote many comedies in like the 80s and 90s, especially one of my favorites, the Ghostbusters series, and he says that they're working on a sequel direct from the Ghostbusters 2 movie, which was in 1989, I believe. And I'm ecstatic. I'm happy. I can't wait for it. It's going to be great. They said the old cast might come back. Sans Howard Ramis, who passed away, who played Egon. But I think it's going to be great. So you get Ernie Hudson, you get Dan Aykroyd, and my man Bill Murray. It's going to be a great flick. And of course, you get the SJWs, and you get, the people that were mad, and, this chick, Leslie Jones from Saturday Night Live. She was in the 2016 edition of the Ghostbusters, which was all female, and it was terrible. Not because it was all female, it just was a bad movie. And it was basically the first movie back from like 84, and they basically just wrote it for females. Now, if that was the case, then like me personally, I wasn't going to see it anyway, and I didn't like it. And I heard people that went to see it, that a lot of people who were fans of Ghostbusters were like, it was really terrible. It was like an oversaturated Saturday Night Live flick, or like a skit or what have you. And Leslie, like, I feel you, but like, this ain't your thing. We've been waiting for this for over 30 years. And, it's got a lot of these female feminists, they're talking all this crap about, ruining men's childhoods and all that stuff. I'm like, please, listen, you weren't going to do that anyway, and you need to find something better to do with yourself. And those guys that follow behind them, all you're doing is trying to get some from them, and they're not with it. And you're just wasting your time. And Leslie, you're wasting your time too, quite honestly. You tall as fuck. You know who really needs your help? The New York Knicks. They're like in last place right now. I think you could be a nice power forward or a center. Get some rebounds. Stop worrying about movies. And then, like, when you get in a position like she is, like she's like one of the head writers of Saturday Night Live, you get to run your mouth and all that stuff. And then she was on Twitter again with that, complaining about the new movie coming out. And I remember her getting off Twitter because of her being bashed about, her character on there. And I didn't agree with that in the first place because, I wanted to give this movie a chance, even though it was, like I said, it was horrible. But, she left Twitter. Now she comes back to bash the movie. Come on, Leslie. Really? Like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Like, that's bullshit. So, that's pretty much what I have to say for the moment. We're going to take a quick little break and we'll talk some more shit. This is Aaron Smith Can't Lose on the FLO Empire Network.
Outside down trying to move that work. How can I wish 100 goons to really pray for me when living out there in them trenches is like slavery? Father, forgive me, death the haters, leave them 6 feet. Have you ever heard the engine of the ghost running? If you say you mine, nigga, let me hold something. Real recognize real, there be no frontin'. Put that money where your mouth is, that's stunning. Have you heard? Have you heard? Have you heard? Have you ever heard the engine of the ghost running? My life changed for the better, they gon' say it's worse. Cause I ain't outside banging out there putting work. I had to bring that part back just to remind myself. My cousin died, I left shorty. Am I myself? I found myself by myself even though I'm taken. Liam Nilsson working hard like a Jamaican. 2 babies, I am the father, where's the bacon? 2 80s, fully loaded, keep noted. Any given day, reloaded, burn notice. Luxury items, I fantasize, big lotus. 4-door, British, European, just dreaming shit.
Yeah, I just had to get that out of my system. I feel much better now. We're back. Aaron Smith Can't Lose. I believe we have a caller. Hello, you're on the air.
Well, hi, how are you?
Hello, Elizabeth. How are you?
I'm good tonight.
Awesome. Thanks for calling in.
Are you kidding? I was sitting on my hands waiting to get through.
Oh, yeah? That's crazy. Well, you're here, so it's all good. So what's on your mind tonight?
Well, you know something? I almost want to get into this Leslie Jones thing.
Sure, let's talk about it.
But I feel like I can't speak on it with great authority because Twitter drives me up the wall and I get bored with it after.
I have one. I don't use it. Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, it's just not my thing. I mean, I know she's not really a writer over there at SNL.
She isn't?
And nah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's hard for her to get her stuff on there. She's definitely more the stand-up and the actress. But I feel so strongly about those movies because they were everything for me. I love the original ones, Ghostbusters.
Yeah, same here. I'm like I said, I told people I'm not knocking it. That's the first thing. Oh, you're a sexist. I was like, look, the movie sucked, even if it was a bunch of cats in it playing the roles, because It was pretty much the same first movie with females in it, and they changed maybe like one or two things. It was horrible. Like I said, I didn't see it personally, but I read on it, and I've had people that have said that they watched it themselves. They did not like it.
Well, I saw it. I didn't like it, and I thought it was such a waste of talent. These people individually can all carry their own movies on their own. They each have their talents, and it's kind of like they said, "Oh, let's get a little bit of this, let's get a little bit of that. It'll be a blockbuster." It was awful.
It was really bad, and
it didn't serve anybody, least of all the fans.
It damn sure did, and if anything, it pissed off a lot of people. And like you take somebody's intellectual property like that, Ivan Reitman, who's like the writer and the co-creator of Ghostbusters, along with Dan Aykroyd. It was bad. Like that's another thing problem I have with Hollywood. It's just nothing but sequels and reboots of bullshit. And
well, here's the thing. It was written by Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis.
Right.
And Harold's gone, sadly.
Yeah.
But Dan's still around. So when he came out and said, we're talking about it, Ivan was the director and totally helped them get through everything and got that spectacular performance out of Bill Murray. And, he really helped handle things and get it together. It was a great team.
That
really
four is unreplaceable. And growing up as a fan, having the Ecto 1 toy car and the playhouse, the firehouse, and the proton pack, that was my shit. Like, come on, man. Like, Leslie Jones want to talk shit about that. I told her, I said she did take her tall ass to Madison Square Garden to help the Knicks. They need some help.
Well, I feel bad about her in a way because
she could be a good.
Another woman,
she could be a good power forward.
With a lot of talent, but bad project. It just.
Like I think people just literally took that because they really thought it was going to be something. It was total shit. Something that you will never do. You should not bother with. There's certain properties, there's certain movies you shouldn't change it. Like you're not going to see a Back to the Future reboot. That's not going to happen.
All right. Well, let me ask you this: what about Willy Wonka? That was like two totally different, weird, strange. Visions of one book.
Didn't Tim Burton direct that one? The last one? Because if Tim Burton, you already know his MO. He's weird and goofy, so that's on him. I mean he did the original Batman back in the 80s, and it was great. But like I said,
I loved it.
I mean that's just him. Like there's a difference between putting your spin on a different movie. And then just blatantly just cutting and pasting and then putting your own stuff and trying to make it your own. There's the difference between that. I'm with
you on that.
Exactly. That's what Ghostbusters 2016 did. And whatever, to each their own. People can agree or disagree. And my thing is, whatever, man. Like, get over it. This is something we've been waiting for 30 years. I mean,
well, now you're going to get it the way you wanted it. At least by
exactly.
half of the team. So
I know
you got a better shot there.
Yeah, well, like they said, I'm pretty sure they'll go for it. Cause Ernie Hudson is in. He's definitely in. Dan Aykroyd is going to be there. So we're just waiting on Bill, and Bill's probably going to be like, why not? Just they do it for Harold. So so it should be really good. It should, like I said, even. Like I said, it's something that I look forward to because, like I said, I don't go to movies often. I don't go see the stuff like that because I'm not paying all this money for bullshit where I'm gonna just wait like a good 3 to 6 months and it'll be on cable or Netflix anyway. So whatever. Personally, unless it's something I really want to see. What was the last movie I did see? I don't even remember. That's how long ago it was.
Wow. Well, I have to say, I used to be a big movie junkie, and I didn't miss anything. But it was kind of the line of work I had. I had free passes, and that's a very different story than having to pay. Now that I have to pay, I'm very choosy about what I go to see.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't want to be let down and spend all that money and be aggravated by a crowd of people and you can't hear the movie.
You got the
gets on my nerves.
texting and calling, and you got the guy in the back trying to record, so you get the bootlegs. I respect the hustle, but come on, man, not right now. So I don't know. It has to be something like I really want to see. Like I was gonna check out Glass because I'm a fan of that series. I saw Unbreakable. I was going to rent or watch Split so I could see Glass, but so far
You should. I think you should go in the order. Because
well, yeah, obviously
it's going to make a big difference, I think, you know?
right. So
Yeah.
but they said it got really shitty reviews, but I believe it when I see it. You know, I'm not gonna go on somebody else's opinion. I'd rather watch it for myself. And then if it's shit, I'm like, oh yeah, it was shit. Okay, whatever. But I'll just move on. But
Well, you roll the dice. You take your chances, and that's your choice. You know, that's totally fine. I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go by what everybody else says because it was whatever for them. But, you know, if I want to see it, if I'm into 2 parts of that movie, there's no way I'm not going to go see the third.
right.
You know, you got to you're invested, you make your choice.
Yeah, Venom. That was the last movie I saw, and that wasn't too bad. People shitted on that movie real bad, but it wasn't great. It wasn't good, but it was all right. You know, that's the last movie I think I saw. So, and I saw it for free, so I didn't care if it was good or bad. Either.
Oh, that was perfect then.
You know, it doesn't matter to me. So.
I love free. Free is good.
Not necessarily all the time, but in this case it was. But like, you know, I've seen a lot of free movies in my time that have been horrible, but whatever. So what else is going on with you? I met you through a mutual friend and at a comedy
Our
show.
friend, our comedian, our poet, our actress, Mindy Matajasevic. Yeah.
Yeah, nice plug.
That was a great show. You pulled together a really good comedy show.
I do what I can, you know. I try to stay modest.
I had a great time. It was like 5 comedians.
I'm glad you
awesome.
did. Well, you do know we're doing another show on March 8th, right?
I did. I saw it. I definitely did. I didn't get to see everybody in it. I don't know what's happening, but I did see something go around.
Yeah, it's
on my little Facebook calendar. It's popped right in there.
We're glad to have you. Glad to have you come there. I'm not sure what Mindy's doing that day, but I'll reach out to her. Maybe we can get her some time on there as well. So.
Oh, that'd be so cool. I always love seeing her. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, definitely. So, like I said, we'll do. Like I said, Ghostbusters 3. Can't wait. Like, there was a video game that I didn't ever got to play, which is pretty much the third movie, and people said that was great too. So I'm glad to see that this movie's coming into fruition. So, yeah.
Now, are you into all the superhero stuff? There's like, you know, so many of them, but is that something you follow too?
Yeah, I have, and I'm looking forward to The Last Avengers. I kind of got an idea of what's going to happen because if you read the comic books, I mean, they'll change maybe 1 or 2 things because obviously it has to be for the movies. But I already know what's going to happen. I just want to see how they put it on the screen. So it should be pretty good. It should be really, really good. But not all super movies should be judged the same because Marvel's been doing very well. DC has not. With the exception
I know what you're saying. I have to admit, I go to them all.
Oh,
I do.
Yeah, that's cool.
I do. I'm a geek for this stuff, and even if it sucks, I'm like, it's kind of like if you know something got that bad review, but you still want to check it out. I still go. I do, and I keep hoping Batman movies will get better, and you know.
Well, they had
a
really good guy playing him, but they let him go. So I don't know what's going to happen now because Ben Affleck's out. So I don't know what's going to happen now.
I have no idea. But boy, do you remember when he first got cast and like the whole country went to pieces? Mm-hmm. They were like, "Oh my God, it's terrible. We can't have this guy." And I was like, "He didn't even put the suit on yet." Yeah,
that's
like,
because of
give it a shot.
That's because he did Daredevil, and Daredevil wasn't really good. But you can't really blame him for that because it wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't a good movie. It was just there. And realistically, you know, that's another thing. You can't change certain things about certain characters and expect people to be like, throw it in their face like, hey, Kingpin's black now, deal with it. Like, no. Like, if you read the comic books, this man is tall, muscular, fat, and bald, and white. So no, that's not. I was like, no, like that's not gonna work. So then they were supposed to do a part 2, but they canceled it and they made Elektra, which was just more, like I said, I'd rather watch a dog lick his balls than see that again. And but that was really bad. But they've, like, Marvel, they got their head to growing pains. They've gotten better. They had a couple of stinkers early, but they've gotten better. DC is like, they need to catch up. Like I said, I know they're good with the anime stuff is badass. They always have their good stuff on Netflix and all these other streaming channels.
Right.
Their animated stuff is boss, But as far as their live action, I heard Aquaman was very good, and I have yet to see it, but I do want to check that out. So we'll see. We will definitely see.
I have a friend of mine who saw Aquaman ahead of me.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get to see that quite when I wanted to, but, things happen. But he had said to me, well, first of all, you're going to love it, because I love all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, if you crossed, like, this whole Aquaman thing under the water, but like Star Wars,
mm-hmm.
it's this fantastical kind of a world. And it goes from one place to the other, and some of it's really funny, and some of it's like, what's happening next? And, it's about families underneath it all. And I was like, all right, well, look, I'm in, because I just love all that stuff. I like to see how things are done, and even if it's CGI and there's animation, it doesn't even matter. It's a show, and I want to go see a show.
I dig it. You gotta get your money. You want to get your money's worth. That's with anything, honestly.
You get your money's worth.
Mm-hmm.
You do. I think it was a big thing. I think it was an awesome show. So, and I even liked the press tour. I even liked all the actors going out and talking about it. And they actually seemed like they, gave a shit about it and were excited. So I was like, if they're still talking about it and they're still good, I'm good for trying it. And I loved it.
That's great. I
It
mean,
was a lot of fun.
there's certain actors that I'd say were pretty much born to play these roles. Like Patrick Stewart was definitely born to play Professor X. Like, you just looked at him and you look at the comic books, I'm like, yeah, that's him. Robert Downey Jr. is pretty much Iron Man in real life, so I said that was perfect too.
Right.
I don't know. Give me another one.
Well, who's perfect? That's what's kind of hard. I mean, I thought the first Batman was perfect, but I've seen other really good
Michael
Batmans.
Keaton? Oh, Michael
but,
Keaton. I get into this argument all the time, and I keep telling
you
people,
don't like him?
Michael Keaton is the best Batman ever, period. I don't care what anybody says.
All right. That's
and I'll
good.
give anybody that have you. Michael Keaton was the first. He was the first in the movies. You have Adam West, who was also badass, and the TV. But the thing is, like I said, no one he only did 2 movies. He was meant to do the third Batman Forever, but they decided they didn't want to deal with him anymore. They wanted to get this Val Kilmer guy, and you know how that went. So
the worst.
I remember that he was fitted for the suit and everything. I was getting ready for it. Now that next thing you know, it's like, no, we don't want you. No, we're going to go a different direction. Then they got Joel Schumacher, who was famous for making the Lost Boys, and it was basically, Gotham became from this dark, grim place to this thing with all lights and flashing and,
I hated that.
Cock shots everywhere. Like, I get it. I get it, Mr. Schumacher. I get it.
It was the worst.
I get it, Mr. Schumacher. You're a homosexual. No problem. That's fine. But we don't need to see cock shots every 5 seconds, with Batman putting on his jock strap and then Robin putting on his jock, and then you see he puts on his ass tights, and Commissioner Gordon shows his ass. I'm like, come on, that's enough for me. Like, there's a little bit much, bro. Too much. Nah, like, chill, bro. But they like Michael Keaton, hands down, best Batman. I give Bale a close second, even though I didn't like the raspy voice, and I need a throat lozenge and some Listerine because I talk like this. But I talk like this when I'm Bruce Wayne. Whatever.
Yeah, I
So
thought it was kind of funny, but at least he made an effort to sound a little different. I thought it was a little over the top, but I liked him in the role. I thought he was good.
yeah,
You know, he kind of had that "I'm really damaged" thing going on, and he was a damaged guy.
yeah.
You know,
You know, that was basically them doing Batman over, and that was pretty much year one if you would follow the comic books, and that was awesome.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then you have Affleck, which I'll give him 3. That's my 3: Keaton, Bale, Affleck. Then you have
Yeah. All right, I'll agree with that.
then
Actually,
you have Val
Yep.
Kilmer and George Clooney, and oh god.
No.
Okay,
That was just
Val
stupid.
Kilmer's Bruce Wayne was okay. His Batman, I think, needed a little work. George Clooney don't even count. I thought that was the drizzling shits. Like
Even George Clooney said that he was embarrassed.
Yeah.
And rightly so. I mean, I give that guy credit for at least saying, "I destroyed it. I made such a mess of it."
You gotta admit your f ups, because
Yeah.
that was a real big one. That was, but they always change people, with Superman, and this guy's all right. He's okay. Henry Cavill's
Yeah.
all right, but he's no Christopher Reeve. So, and even the other guy that did that one movie,
Oh, yeah. I don't know his name, but I know who you're talking about.
he was all right.
I saw the movie.
He was all right.
He was all right.
It was
He was
just too
all right.
long.
I
Like,
don't
I might get to the point. Like, I get it. Like, it didn't need to be 3 hours long. So that kind of killed it for me a little bit. But they get it right sometimes. Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. I give him that by far.
Yeah, he's good.
Even
He's good.
Definitely. Even though he's completely different in the comic books. Like Wolverine's like 5 foot. And he's short and stubby and stocky or muscle, where Hugh Jackman's like 6'1". But I guess you gotta change certain things for the movies.
He's intense though, and it's the acting, and he gets the spirit of it, and he doesn't have to be the tall, strapping guy that he is. And I know why they pick him. I get it. I've seen him in a lot of things live. I mean, he's an impressive, performer, but he gets the spirit of it, and that's really all that matters in these movies. He's got to get that intensity, and I like that about him.
Yeah, I mean, it was really good that he did that, and you don't want to get typecasted. So I do understand why you like to move. People actors like to move on. So as I tell people now. I said, don't get attached to these people in Avengers. You should saw that from the last one in Infinity War. So. But yeah, it's more heads to roll. I already read it, so I just want to see it on the live screen. So we'll see what happens.
All right, you don't want to say too much. You're going to be spoiler alert everything.
Well, people, if anybody who has read the books about Infinity War, Infinity War,
right.
And after that, there ain't no spoilers
for
them.
Fans know
ain't no
already
spoilers
anyway,
for them.
so.
But these new fans that just watched the movies and maybe have read a comic or two, yeah, they'll be mad at me, but I don't give a shit if I did so. But I won't, because
But you can't lose.
Damn right. So we were supposed to talk about something else. It was actually kind of cool, but we can just continue that or whatever have you. Got a couple more minutes.
Yeah, we do?
Mm-hmm.
All right, because I was going to say someone must be writing comments. Who the hell is he talking to? What is going on?
Who cares? People can write whatever they want to write.
All right, you know
it's
what?
mostly
right,
friends,
minutes.
friends, and people I know, which is cool. But I've had a couple of trolls try to contact me and stuff, and like I said, I'm not really for it. I'm like, you're not gonna get famous off my back. You're not going to do that. I work for mine, and I know the people. There's a difference between people who wanna talk to me and you have friendly banter, and that's cool. And then the other side of people who are just what I call troll tards, and those are the people that basically just out to just start trouble for no reason. And I'm not with it. Like I said, I'd rather block you and watch you slowly kill yourself, because modern problems require modern solutions.
I got enough trouble in day-to-day life. that I'm not looking for that for entertainment. You know?
Yeah.
Either you're going to be a professional fighter or you're going to be a professional asshole, but only one of them is going to pay you. And
Exactly.
there's no point.
And like I said, those people they have no lives, you know, like they're on their keyboards all the time and their computers and all that other stuff, and they're running their mouths because they know once they step outside that door, and if that person came to them and then they try to say the same stuff that they said to that person,
I'll forget
it'd be a different story. So, you
that
know,
is so true. All right, I'm taking 1 minute, and I'm gonna just so people, if they care. I'm Tish. I'm Tish from the Tish Kitchen. And I've got a website, thetishkitchen.com. And I've got a Facebook page, again, the Tish Kitchen, and Instagram. And I cook. I cut a lot of fat and a lot of the bad stuff, but keep a lot of the good stuff, which is flavor.
How does that work?
No point in eating something good for you if it tastes like crap. So that's what I do. I write.
Really?
I cook, I write, I feed people I love, give food to people that need it.
You ain't
I do a
feed
lot
me
of
yet.
things.
Well, I want a plate. What's going on here?
You got a plate. You
where?
got to tell me what you like eating. That's all. I'm good for that.
All right. Well, all right. We'll talk about that after the show. But tell us a little bit more about that. You did Tish Kitchen. So, like I said, I cook, every once in a while when I can, when I'm not, out and about. Sometimes I just grab something here and there, but it'd be light. But how does something that's good for you and tastes good, how does that work? How do you do that? Because I damn sure don't know how. I don't know how to do it.
It's all right. It's all right. You know what it is? We all know exactly what we like to eat. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't always mean that it's really good for your body.
Right.
And sometimes you start finding that out as you get maybe a little older. Mm-hmm. But not even that old. Honestly, by the time I was in my early 20s, I knew what was going to work and what wasn't going to work.
Right.
And if you sit there eating like bowls of macaroni and cheese like 6 days a week, your body's going to go, stop it,
Get
it's
that
about
cottage cheese
kind of
ass.
that basic stuff that we all learned when we were kids.
Right.
Everything in moderation. Eat your greens. Don't go so heavy on sugar. It's nothing, and nobody's reinventing the wheel. But the truth is, you got to live it, and you want to have energy to do stuff you want to do. Mm-hmm. And for a lot of this country, a lot of people I know, and even me, at one point, you gain that weight, and then you got to dump that weight, and sometimes you end up becoming diabetic. And then you're like, oh, now I can't have this, I can't have that.
Yeah.
So instead of putting yourself in a punishing health situation just because you like eating ice cream, I mean, you kind of have to draw a line in the sand and say, well, look, I still want to eat. I want to be happy when I eat my food. I want to be happy and excited when I have dinner or when I have that incredible dessert. Just the moderation part is the control, and it's a little tough. So if I start cooking things that are good on my plate, I can afford to have, my wicked little desire here and there and not deny myself. I don't want to live a life of denial. I don't think anybody does. No. So I started getting into it. I cook. That's what I do. So then I started cooking smarter. And I found that flavor does not have to be fat. It just doesn't. Sometimes it's spice. Sometimes it's fruit. Sometimes it's like lemon and garlic or who knows, whatever you're into. Mm-hmm. But I try to cook from regions all around the world. I got into spices and all kinds of things. And I was like, this is good stuff. This is like not hard. I don't feel pissed off.
That's good. So, that's always a good thing. So yeah. Like if say I or anybody listening were to go to your website, you have actual recipes on there that you could try out?
I totally have recipes. I have a picture of what has been made. I take you through it. I'm a writer. I write stories. I tell stories. So you might get a little anecdote about something in my life, and then you're going to get whatever I made for dinner.
Awesome.
To a party, it's but there's straight up recipes, so you can go to the website to get those, and you can go through and pick what you're into. These are really simple things to do. You don't have to have gone to cooking school. This is stuff you can do in probably 20-25 minutes. It's not that hard. It's basic stuff. Really easy food. And then on Facebook, people really get into talking about it. Like, oh, I like this, but my husband doesn't like that, or my kid won't eat it, or what do you do, or how did you do it? And, you have these little conversations, and people are really interesting. So I take requests, like if they go, oh, well, this one will eat that, but this one won't. What? Can you tell me how? Yeah, I'll make up something for you. I'll, make a custom recipe for your family. I'll do whatever you need if you request it,
Not bad.
It's easy. It's really not so hard.
So when you do these recipes for people and you do it by request, is something that can be ordered, or like, basically, let's say if I wanted a certain dish and you prepare it for me, could I order it from you? Could I purchase it from you or something like that?
I used to do that stuff. I used to cater with a friend of mine. She had a great catering business, and I started helping her on the side, and then I had specialties, and people started buying it direct. And I kind of moved away from that because it can get a little overwhelming if you don't have a professional kitchen. You know what I mean? Now I do the recipes because I started teaching people privately. Like, they would have little house parties, and I'd be like, all right, here's the menu, and go get these things, and I'll teach you all how to do it. And we would have a little cooking party. So I would teach people that way. Now I do more writing, and I will sit down and I'll still write it out, but teaching them. But I don't do, I'm not a restaurant. I basically don't do that. But if I come to one of your shows, again, which I'm sure I will, I'm sure we could work out a request, because I feel like I owe you a nice little thing. So that'd be really cool.
That'd be cool. Like I said, I do know that my doctor has been cleaning up my weight, and I have to eat better, so I definitely gotta link up with you and see what I can do about that. So
totally, you gotta tell me your favorite foods, and I will find really healthy ways to make them for you, so you can still dig them and make your doctor happy. That's what you gotta do.
I don't think anything's gonna make him happy. He's a cool guy and everything, but like, he pisses me off sometimes, and I'm like, he's like, well, have you stopped smoking? I'm like, smoking what? I said, be specific. Cigarette. And he'd be like, cigarettes. Yeah. I'd be like, yeah. I'm done with that. But if you talk about brown cigarettes, no, that's something I do on a regular, herbal remedies, if you will, that's which he doesn't. He said he prefers. I'm like, okay, cool, because most doctors are kind of like, oh, okay, we do that, but other than that, I've known him for over 8 years. I've had him for 8 years, as my doctor, so he knows me very well. So definitely gotta link up with you and see what I can do about that. So, and yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
That would be cool. What's your favorite food? What's your top 3? How's that?
Well, I can say that the top 3 dishes I have are from top three women that were in my life or were in my life. So, like, it'd be my mother, my grandmother, and my great-grandmother, who passed away. My great-grandmother, her fried chicken was awesome. Like, no one could make her fried chicken like anybody. No one could make her fried chicken. No one could, and that was really good. My grandmother makes a great lasagna, and it's like, really, but I know the thing with the cheese and all that stuff that can be fattening and stuff like that. So she kind of tries, sometimes she switches it with, like, little thing like that. I can't stand vegetable lasagna. I think that's disgusting. I had it before, okay. And I was, like I said, I mean, if I you could replace the ground beef with ground turkey, that's fine. But I'm not putting no green beans and okra in my lasagna. That's not happening. That's just, no.
Well, that sounds gross. I gotta tell you.
Exactly.
I wouldn't want. Well, first of all, those are the.
Well, she hasn't done that, but I'm talking. She hasn't done that, but I know certain people will just throw whatever kind of vegetable in there, and it looks like throw up, and I'm not eating that. No.
Okay, you don't have to. I do love veggie lasagna. I don't like okra. I don't like green beans, but that's okay. This is your list. So,
and my mother.
Which moms make that you love?
And my mother makes roasted pork or as like Spanish folks like to call it, pernil. And
Pernil, yeah.
and she stopped eating meat a while ago, but if I request it from her, she'll make it for me, and it's always good.
That is your mother's love, and that is a beautiful dish.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and and especially if you get a good piece, and you know what you're doing with it, and you season it right, and you put it in for a couple of days, and let it soak in the juice and all that stuff, and then you let it sit in the oven for a couple hours. It's pretty good, real good. That's something.
I'm not saying no to that. I do respect it. I get it. I used to eat it. It was good stuff. But there were I think I could come up with something for you. There are a few leaner ideas with that it could still be pretty tasty and not gross, like okra and green beans and lasagna.
I'll hold you to it.
That's all right. We could do that. We can come up with some good things for you. But it was fun talking with you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. You're welcome anytime to call in. And we'll definitely talk. I'll hit you up later. But before you leave, please tell us your information again and how the good people can contact you on all your social media.
I would be delighted. It is thetishkitchen.com, and you'll find a full directory of recipes there, and you'll find stories and whatever you're into. I've got it all separated by pages, so you don't have to get bored. If you're just there for the food, you can just zap on in for the food. Just hit recipes. It's all there. And on Facebook, it's also the Tish Kitchen. And you'll see a pretty active page there. A lot of people have chats and thoughts and what they ate and how do I make it. And you'll see things there. It's a quick version of the website. Pretty quick to get in and out. And if you just like some pretty pictures, go to Instagram at the Tish Kitchen.
Nice.
That's it.
Oh, excuse me. Well, you thank you once again, Elizabeth, and well, I got told people earlier I'm just getting over this cold. It's gotten better, and hopefully it'll be done by the end of this week because I got shit to do. So once again, thanks for.
Well, I hope you feel better. I just got over the flu. You and we did pretty good considering, right?
Yeah, I like I said, when I'm sick, I don't like to be around anybody, and nobody wants to be around me. So. Like, I've gotten better. And hopefully, like I said, by the end of this week, it'll be completely gone. I can go back to being my regular, sarcastic, silly self. But once...
Well, I thought you were charming, and the sick did you well. It's behind you. You go on and have a real cool week.
And you do the same, and I'll talk to you soon.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Elizabeth. All right, that's it for me. I will see everyone next week. I hope you had a good time. I hope it was influential and all that other good stuff. You had fun and all that. I know I did. And like I said, once again, this is Aaron Smith Can't Lose. I'll see you next week right here. Same time, same channel. Thank you. Good night.